Okay, guys, so now we're picking up with part 3 of this prophetic word, and then we'll be finished. We're going into Revelation chapter 11, verses 3 to 14. So let's go. And I will appoint my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. They are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands, and they stand before the Lord of the earth. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Fredo, you see here that it says that if anyone tries to harm one of the 2 witnesses, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. See, you cannot touch a chosen one of God. You cannot touch a real prophet or prophetess of God. For if you do you see how God says that somebody who touches his anointed must die? He literally says that fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. God does not play about his chosen ones. So you saying that you was going to do something to BBGD and that he dissed 7 and now he's holding the Bible, that was very, very, very disrespectful to God. And I'm just warning you, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Now, BBGD, you was wrong for dissing 7 and doing all of that nonsense. That's where you was wrong, because you was participating in narcissism. However, all parties is wrong because all of y'all are participating in narcissism, which is witchcraft, and it is the spirit of Cain. It is the very thing that got Cain in trouble with God. Okay? All of you are wrong. Both parties, vultures, bleeders, TBG, NBA, all parties are wrong. 4K trade, I don't care. Everybody is wrong. In God's eyes. Everybody. It's so easy for y'all to be in y'all's ego. Instead of putting your pride to the side and coming together as one. It's so easy. But you know what God said? He said pride go before a fall. A warning come before destruction. God don't like pride. Pride was the same thing that got Lucifer kicked out of heaven. All right. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. Okay? All parties is wrong. BBGD, you need to publicly apologize for dissing 7. That was out of line for you again. But what would y'all know? Y'all didn't know y'all was participating in narcissism, huh? Y'all didn't know that y'all were participating in something spiritually evil, huh? Y'all didn't know that. Because y'all had yet to pick up a Bible and read it and see what God had to say about it, right? Again, thou shalt not murder is a commandment. You break his commandments, you're under a generational curse. Thou shalt not spill innocent blood, or you're under a curse. That's a commandment. All right, so now we will continue. They have power to shut up the heavens so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying, okay? And they have power to turn the waters into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. Okay, so God is saying that his prophets have the power to speak to weather, and the weather must obey. A prophet's power. A prophet's power. Okay? A prophet's power. A prophet's power, man. Alrighty. Now, when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the public square of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified. For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these two, okay, so check this out. It doesn't say witnesses. It says 2 prophets had tormented those who live on the earth. But after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, "Come up here." And they went up to heaven in a cloud, while their enemies looked on. At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and 1/10 of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe has passed. The third woe is coming soon. Okay, so what is it with God taking prophets up to the air in chariots? Okay, I don't know. That just kind of amuses me because I'm a prophetess myself. But we know that the catching away of the believers is soon to happen, and we know that it says that they will be caught up in the air to meet the Lord, and so shall they ever be with the Lord, their God, their Savior. Okay, like Elijah was a prophet, and when it was time for him to go, he ain't die. God took him right on up to the air to be in heaven with him. Man, get right with God. Okay, get right with God, because that day is gonna come one day when everybody just gonna be swoop, took it up to heaven. God's people, okay? God's people. I had to make that clear. All right. You better get right with God before the day of the rapture happens and you be stuck here, left behind, going through tribulation with the Antichrist. It ain't gonna be no, man, I wish I would have listened to the prophet and the prophetesses. It's gonna be too late then, especially when the Lord starts putting the judgments on earth. It's over with. Better get right with God while you got the chance. Alrighty, so I just wanted to bring to y'all the knowledge of the prophet's power, because if a prophet comes to you and tell you, oh, look, I'm getting tongue-tied. If a prophet comes to you and tells you something is happening, it's happening. If a prophet says that it's going to happen, best believe it's going to happen, okay? A prophet does not lie about anything, because it's the Lord putting his word on our tongue to speak to you, okay? All right, so if y'all like this video, like, comment, share with friends and family. Most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, Bless K Crew. Stay blessed.